John Foster has gotten a lot to celebrate since his time on American Idol. The season 23 runner-up has made quite a few headlines as of late, including a few career milestones. Recently, Foster had a special reason to hold back tears during his 19th birthday. Foster first came to fame after appearing on season 23 of American Idol. Fans saw him perform covers of songs from Conway Twitty, Garth Brooks, Randy Travis, and Elvis Presley. He also performed an original song, Tell That Angel I Love Her, dedicated to his late friend, Maggie Dunn. Ultimately, Foster ended up the season's runner-up, with Jamal Roberts as the season's winner. Following this, however, Foster has since shared a few big moments in his ensuing career. As previously reported, Foster recently shared his debut at the Grand Ole Opry, a venue famous for showcasing country music talents. However, his debut wouldn't be his last performance at the venue. Foster also hit the stage on July 9, 2025, which is also his 19th birthday. Taking to Instagram, Foster recently looked back on the moment. As he noted, "I'm glad I was able to hold back my tears until I was walking off stage. Because the moment I stepped out of view, they started flowing." The country singer shared that he received a special birthday present this year. As he continued, to receive a standing ovation on the biggest stage in country music, the at Opry, on my 19th birthday, is a feeling I'll never forget. Thank you so much to everyone who voted and supported me on this journey. If there's one thing I'm feeling right now, it's why me, Lord. Glory be to God. The spotlight shone brightly on the grand stage of the Grand Ole Opry, a place steeped in musical history and Southern tradition. It's where legends are born, dreams are realized, and heartache is shared in song. But for John Foster, it was more than just a historic venue. It was the culmination of a journey that had begun years ago in a small town in Tennessee, a journey it would come full circle on his 19th birthday. John Foster had always loved music. From his earliest memories, he was drawn to the soulful sounds of country legends and the raw emotion of blues singers. Growing up in Nashville, he was immersed in the city's musical culture, often sneaking into local clubs to watch live performances, dreaming of one day stepping onto that very stage. When he was 16, John auditioned for American Idol for the first time. It was a nervous experience, his voice trembling as he sang his heart out for the judges. To his surprise, he made it through the initial rounds, and his journey began. Over the next 2 years, he faced countless auditions, rejections, and moments of self-doubt. But his unwavering passion kept him going. Now, at 19, John was among the finalists, standing at the cusp of fame and fulfillment. The final episode was broadcast live nationwide, and anticipation buzzed through the air. The grand finale was set to take place at the Grand Ole Opry, a venue he had long admired and dreamed of performing in. The night of the performance arrived. John, dressed in a simple yet sharp outfit, denim jeans, a crisp white shirt, and a black vest, felt a mixture of nerves and excitement. As he stepped onto the stage, the familiar warm glow of the stage lights enveloped him. The audience applause echoed in his ears, but his focus was on the song in his heart. He chose to sing a soulful rendition of Humble and Kind, a song that had become an anthem of hope and perseverance in his life. As he began singing, he poured every ounce of emotion into his voice, feeling the lyrics resonate deeply within him. The crowd was silent, hanging on to every note. Midway through the song, John's voice cracked unexpectedly, a crack born from the flood of emotions he was experiencing. It was a moment of vulnerability that made the audience lean in closer. Tears welled in his eyes as memories flooded his mind. His late grandmother who had encouraged him, the nights he stayed up practicing, the sacrifices his family had made for his dreams. When he finished, the applause was thunderous. But what truly moved him was the reaction from the judges and the audience, an outpouring of genuine emotion. As he bowed and exited the stage, he felt a profound sense of accomplishment, yet also a deep vulnerability. His 19th birthday was becoming a defining moment, not just because of the performance, but because of what it represented: resilience, hope, and the power of music to heal and inspire. Later that evening, backstage, John found himself alone in a quiet corner, tears streaming down his face. The weight of the journey, the dreams fulfilled, and the realization of his potential overwhelmed him. His mind drifted back to childhood days in Nashville, dreaming of this exact moment. But the night was far from over. The final results were about to be announced. As the host stepped onto the stage, the tension was palpable. The moment everyone had been waiting for. The winner of American Idol was about to be revealed. The host opened the envelope and, with a dramatic pause, announced, and the winner is John Foster. The crowd erupted into cheers. John's knees nearly buckled as he made his way to the center stage, overwhelmed by emotion. The realization that he had won, the culmination of years of hard work and perseverance, brought tears to his eyes once again. In the moments that followed, John was handed the iconic microphone, now his symbol of dreams realized. As he looked out at the sea of faces, fans, family, and fellow contestants, he felt a profound sense of gratitude. His voice trembled as he spoke, thanking everyone who had supported him along the way. But amid the celebration, something deeper was happening inside him. The tears he shed weren't just of joy, they were of acknowledgement. Acknowledgement of his struggles, his growth, and the realization that music was more than just a career. It was his purpose. That night, under the shimmering lights of the Grand Ole Opry, John Foster performed a heartfelt encore. It was a song he had written himself, a ballad about hope, perseverance, and the journey from small-town dreams to national stage. As he sang, his voice was steady yet raw, filled with emotion that transcended words. In the audience, there were tears too, fellow contestants, family members, and fans, all touched by his authenticity. The moment was a testament to the power of music to connect, heal, and inspire. As dawn approached, John sat backstage, reflecting on the whirlwind of the past few weeks. His 19th birthday had transformed from a simple milestone into a symbol of resilience and breakthrough. The tears he shed that night were a release, a catharsis that marked the beginning of a new chapter. This victory was not just about fame or applause. It was about staying true to himself, embracing vulnerability, and understanding that true strength lies in authenticity. John knew that the road ahead would be filled with challenges, but he was ready to face them, armed with his voice, his story, and the unyielding support of those who believed in him. In the days that followed, John Foster's life changed dramatically. He recorded his debut album, performed at festivals, and was invited to speak at music schools about perseverance. But no matter how far he traveled or how many stages he graced, the memory of that night at the Grand Ole Opry remained etched in his heart, a night when dreams became reality, and tears became a testament to his triumph. And as he looked toward the future, John Foster knew that the real journey was just beginning. With his voice as his instrument and hope as his guide, he was ready to inspire others to chase their dreams, no matter how impossible they seemed. Before the curtain rose on this life-changing night, John Foster was already being whispered about as a standout on season 23 of American Idol. A soft-spoken teen from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, John grew up surrounded by the echoes of Southern gospel and the swampy soul that made his hometown a musical mecca. With floppy brown hair, a humble grin, and a voice that felt like velvet dipped in church pews and heartbreak, he became known as the boy with the big voice, a voice that, week after week, silenced judges and sent fans into emotional spirals. But nothing prepared anyone, not John, not the crowd, not even the show's producers, for what would happen when the show brought him to the most sacred stage in country music, the Grand Ole Opry. "Happy birthday, John," said host Ryan Seacrest with a grin during rehearsal. "Hope you brought tissues." At first, John thought it was a joke. He was told he'd be singing a classic country song as part of American Idol's tribute to Nashville. What he didn't know was that producers had arranged for his performance to take place live on the Opry stage, on his 19th birthday. When the black car rolled up to the famous Circle of Wood and Neon in Nashville, John's jaw dropped. "You're kidding," he whispered, stepping out and looking up at the iconic Opry sign. No way. He wasn't just performing in front of America anymore. He was stepping into history, sharing a stage that had held the boots of Patsy Cline, Johnny Cash, Loretta Lynn, and Vince Gill. And tonight, it would hold his. Backstage, John was trembling. Not from fear, but from awe. He stared at the circle of wood cut from the Ryman Auditorium floor and whispered a prayer under his breath. "Let me make my family proud. Let me make Muscle Shoals proud. Let me honor this place." As he stepped into the spotlight, guitar in hand, he took a breath that seemed to last a lifetime.